Alrighty, what's up, how y'all doing, guys? How are you? So as you guys previously know, the Supra broke, and yeah, so here's the souvenir from our gift from the Supra. But pretty much, if you guys don't know, this is the crank pulley. I wasn't aware of this, but these are notoriously known for going out. As you guys can see, the rubber seal on the inside broke, and there is the balancer itself on it. So this happened mid-driving. Luckily this just fell under the car. Nothing really got damaged. Everything looks good. Very lucky because it can get damaged. So if you have one of these on your 2JZ, probably want to get rid of it and change it, because it will give you a problem. So in order to fix that issue, we went ahead and got a new bolt, obviously, ARP. I got this from Real Street Performance. $100 bolt is crazy with the washer, but it's ARP. And then also went ahead and bought a fluid dampener crank pulley, just like that. So you guys can see now, this is one unit. This is never gonna come off. It's ready to go, solid. This was very expensive. It was like $475. But from my research, if you install another stock one like that, that's on the car, they're rated for like 200 some horsepower. This thing makes 650. Of course, it's gonna blow it off again eventually, and I'm not trying to deal with it. So yeah, pretty much you gotta take your radiator out, dump your coolant, which we did, and now it begins the fun part. I didn't know this, but this crank pulley is one of the tightest. I guess the 2JZs need it to be like 239 foot-pounds or something like that. So what you're gonna need is, you're gonna need a balancer removal tool. You're gonna need a nice breaker bar. I'm not using this, but a 22 socket. Get a meteor one so it works nicer. A new belt. I went ahead, Alberto Big Boost told me to get this. This is like a, this is what they use for like 18-wheelers, I guess, but it's the same length and it works. Come on, camera. It's the part number if you guys want to go ahead and get yourself one. And it's green, so it looks sick. And then obviously new balancer, new bolt. And yeah, oh, to make it easy on yourself too, there's many ways to break that bolt. But I went ahead and ordered this tool off eBay, Amazon, wherever you want to get it. It's like $28. But this sits, so it comes with those bolts. But pretty much this will go and sit in between this like that. But that's gonna sit right there. Then you could put another 1/2-inch breaker bar on this end, and then hold it with two hands to break it, which I'll show you guys, but it's a must-have. So yeah, let's get started. All right, so it uses a size 13 bolt. Yours might be different, but you guys can see I put it at top dead center. There's two marks. The second mark needs to be at the 0, and then pretty much you're gonna bolt these in. It's like that. Breaker bar here. Put your 22 on. Make sure you put it in 5th gear as well. E-brake on, and you should be able to break it by yourself. Just gotta go at it a few times. All right, so I got them on. Let's see if we can do this. Ah. God damn it. Oh, sorry guys. It's ended up being a lot of work. Holy shit, I'm out of breath. But what I did was I put it on the ground so I don't have to hold it. Breaker bar, big old bolt, or big old tube. I'm out of breath. But yeah. Now you can spin it off, get loose, and then it should come off by hand. Alright. There's the bolt. Now, sometimes this is on there. We're gonna need to use a puller tool to pull that off. Alright, so we finally got the pulley off. I'm gonna show you guys the proper tools to use. So you could always use a set of jaw pullers, but I didn't use this just because I couldn't see the back of the harmonic balancer. So I have this Harbor Freight toolkit. It's called a Maddox harmonic balancer puller and installer. So it comes with a variety of fittings, etc. I used a bullet head. So what you do is you take this out, and then you got this guy. The end is threaded like that. Let me put this on the tripod. Alright, so you have this end, you go ahead and thread it in. And then when you go ahead and do this, then the flat face, you want it facing you. You're gonna go ahead and pass this through, so it's sitting like this. Now you go ahead and pass it through your harmonic balancer. Obviously when it's on the car, the bullet will sit on the crank snout. And then with the hardware that comes in the kit, for example with this, you're gonna wanna pass this through and bolt it up just like the tool we used earlier to break the bolt. You guys see the harmonic balancer comes threaded right here. So when this is held on by both tools, then you're gonna wanna go ahead and tighten it up. With a wrench, you hold one end, and then with a 16 mil, you go ahead and start turning it clockwise. As this turns, it's gonna push the bullet tip against the crank and it's gonna pull the face back. And this will slowly pull your balancer out till it's fully out and you can pop it off. But yeah, if you don't have it, use this kit. It's really helpful, works really easy. You don't have to fight the balancer. Don't try to pry it off or anything, you're gonna destroy your covers. Alright, now to show you guys a comparison between the fluid dampener and then our stock pulley. You guys saw this is technically supposed to be like on here like that. You guys see it's held on by like a rubber seal, very garbage. But yeah, they break off. So typically when you do this install or anytime you do a timing belt, it's good practice to just use a new crank bolt. As you guys can see on mine, previously whoever did it, I know throughout the times of its life, it kind of gets rounded off and you don't want to use this. You don't want to ever get stuck in a position where this is rounded off and you can't take it off. So you can get OEM one from Toyota, or you could go big baller and get an ARP one that I bought from Rio Street. Come on camera, this is the ARP 2000, Titan Motorsports makes it. And yeah, look at that fatty washer, high grade bolt. This won't snap on you or have any issues. Not that this will either, but you could just tell the weight difference. This is a lot heavier. Upgraded fuel dampener, ready to go. Fluid dampener, not fuel. But yeah, pretty much plain simple. Now you're gonna want to go ahead and throw your new dampener onto the snout. You can clean the snout a little bit, and then you can always use the puller set to actually push it on fully, or you could tighten down the bolt slowly and I'll push it in. But we'll probably do this because this is much safer practice. Alright, so take your old bolt, put your new dampener on. Guys, make sure this can only go in one orientation. The keyway, wherever it's pointed, make sure you slide it on. You don't want to damage the key on the crank, that's bad news. But I don't know if you can tell, nope. But yeah, look at that, looks good in there. And what I did was I did the method with this, so pretty much just put the bolt in. When you get it on the crank, if it's not going to go all the way in, put the bolt in, make sure it's lined up nicely, and then start tightening the bolt till it pretty much bottoms out. When it does bottom out, you'll feel it because the crank will start spinning or it'll resist you. So when that happens, you go ahead and take the old bolt out, or if you're going to use this, then you torque it down. But for me, since I'm going to be using the new ARP bolt, now it's time to throw this in and then go ahead and torque spec it to 239 foot-pounds. Oh, I feel weak, but I did it. So torque this to 239 foot-pounds. What I went ahead and did was pretty much, if you put it in 5th gear, pull the e-brake, and then also put some wheel locks so the car doesn't move forward, even though it'll try. You can go ahead and put it on there and crank it till it gets tight, and then grab 2 hands and pull it all the way through. You'll hear the brake here, you'll hear your torque wrench click or beep, and then you're good to go. Now this is on. So pretty much this is straight simple after here. But now we're going to throw the belt on. You're going to need to grab this with a 14, pull the tensioner out, line the belt up, and then you're good to go. Alright, so pretty much from Alberto's video that I watched, it was like this. You were supposed to do it. So pretty much did the same thing. Power steering goes around, goes under the pulley. Crank pulley comes back around, loops around tensioner. This is a 14. Push it towards this way. If you push this way, you're going to loosen that bolt. Push it this way, tensioner will go back, loop it around. Alternator, water pump, like that. And then before you throw your radiator on, just turn it on for like 5 seconds. Make sure everything is lined up, nothing moving around, everything looking good. And then next, you put on your radiator, connect your hoses, and then put coolant in your car and bleed it correctly, which I'll show you guys how to do. Alright guys, my little helper is here. But alright, so I went ahead and installed the radiator. I took the brackets off right now, but before anything I pressure tested it with the pressure tester tool I have. It's a great item to use before you pour coolant in your car to make sure there's no leaks, all the hoses are tight, everything. But what we came to find out is there's like a few holes in this radiator. I don't know if it's visible or not. I'll pull it back out so you guys can see, but yeah, it had a mad leak in it. It's not holding pressure. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get a new radiator. But pretty much wanting to bleed this, if you're at your house, if you have one of these bleeding funnels that you can buy on eBay, Amazon, O'Reilly's, wherever, it comes with a whole bunch of heads, as you guys can see right there. For the Supra, we need to use the green one. So pretty much you put this in right there, put this over it, tighten it like you would with your radiator cap, and then this guy sits on top of it like this. Pour your coolant in, pull the plunger out, let the car fully get filled up, and then when it's not going down anymore, you want to turn on your car. Now if your car is like mine where it doesn't have a heater, you're going to want to go ahead and jack it up so it's slanted like this, so all the air bubbles can go to the highest point. If you don't do it, it'll still be able to bleed like this, but that just saves you the worry if you slant it up. And then yep, you'll see bubbles start coming out, and then when the car is fully warmed up and there's no more bubbles coming out, that means your system has no air in it. And then you can go ahead and turn it off, take this off, put the plunger in, put the cap on, and then you're set to go.
That thing is cool.
And yeah, you go for a test drive and then check your coolant again. So I don't know if I'm going to end this video here or continue when I get a new radiator. I'll probably make a whole separate video, but anybody who's trying to do a crank pulley, don't let it scare you. It scared me a little bit, but I still did it. So yeah, super easy, super nice. Thanks Alberto, big boost for the green belt referral as well. Anyways, thanks guys for tuning in. Hopefully this helps you JZ owners out. Peace.